Hi, and welcome to Scathingly Brilliant Idea. I'm going to show you my St. Louis pen show haul today. I went to the show last weekend, had a blast. It was a lot of fun, a much different experience than the Chicago Pen Show, which that doesn't sound right. It doesn't mean to say I didn't have fun in Chicago, but it was just a different type of show. The vibe was different. And I had fun at both shows, but wanted to share with you some of the things I picked up today that I finally am getting around to organizing after getting back because I dived into the work week. I have a 4-day holiday this weekend from work, and I'm ready to show you what I have. So, one of the things I'm trying to figure out is how to properly zoom in so that you can see things a little bit more closely. Because I tend to be out of frame a lot. So, I thank you for being patient. So, I'm going to zoom in and kind of start going through everything I purchased. So I went to the show on Friday and Saturday. I attended a couple of classes, one on Friday and one on Saturday, but I did a fair amount of damage shopping as well as doing the classes, which were a lot of fun. So one of the first things I wanted to do was head to Kaleidocraft because I had um, reached out to them in advance of the show after seeing that they had these new pen vial holders, or I'm sorry, ink vial holders. They also have pen holders as well, same shape. And I did not see these at the Chicago Pen Show. So I reached out to them and I said, would I be able to order one in advance and pick and get it, either order it at the show or how that worked. And they said, oh, well, we can make it before and then you can pick it up at the show. Perfect. So what I did is I told them the colors I wanted, and then I sent them a file with my light bulb logo, and they put this together, and I absolutely love it because I have no uh, vial holder, as if you saw my Birmingham Pen Company video, you would see that. So I picked that up, and they have so many cute things. I also picked up this single holder, which is a melted ice cream cone upside down. Is that not adorable? So the vial will also fit in there. They have a couple of these clickers. This is a Starbucks cup. This was a complimentary charm that they made specifically for the pen show. It's a little bluebird. Is that not adorable? So I got that. And then I also got this clicker, which is a rose gold nib. And this mesmerized me. It's a pen that shifts color, and watch this. It has a magnetic pull on it. So the pen comes out of the holder by this magnet, and it's just a regular ballpoint pen. But is that not something you could just sit and watch all day? I love it. Super fun um, company. I really enjoyed working with Laura and Jacqueline, and I wish them well as they continue on with their hugely innovative ideas. I love everything they have. So the other thing I did is they had a pen guild or a calligraphy guild that was writing out free names. So I stopped by there, and they called me over, and I thought, sure, go ahead and make my name. So this was a free bookmark I have as a souvenir from the pen show. That was lovely. And then I picked up some inks, as you might see. So I'm going to pull these into view. Um, See if I can move some of the stuff out of the way so it's not so cluttered for you. So I stopped at Provincial Mills, which had a ton of inks there. And I knew because I drove to this show, that was one of the things I wanted to do, is take advantage of being able to pick up some inks. They happen to have these Monteverde inks half price in the large containers. So I'm going to do a swatching video so you can see those. I haven't swatched everything yet, but I picked up those from them, and I picked up some KWZ inks. Well, this was the Pen Show ink, so I picked that up at the registration table. And this is a lovely blue. This Smells Like Coffee, which has always been sold out whenever I've tried to find it, so I'm getting ready for coffee season coming up. And he recommended some other things for me. I got a KWZ Honey, which seemed to be different than other ones that I had. I did bring my swatch book that I've shared with you on other videos. I brought that along so that I could make sure I didn't get something too similar to what I already had. And then this was a new KWZ shimmer ink that is called Firecracker. And he was had very positive remarks about how uniform uh, the the glitter was in there, and how it was small and it didn't clog pens, and it wasn't one that you had to agitate frequently in order to have it come out well. So I have that inked up in a pen I'm going to try out too. So that was my next stop. I also stopped by the Sailor table, and I only picked up a couple of inks from there because I didn't need to get a Sailor pen this particular trip. I am going to San Francisco. Maybe something I pick up in San Francisco, but I picked up the Pen Show 2025 exclusive ink, which is another blue ink, which is lovely. And then they had a couple of new inks there. One was for the state of Kansas and one for the state of Missouri. I live in Kansas, and so I picked up the Kansas ink, which is kind of a golden brown. And it's so new that they didn't have, they just got it. They didn't even have the labels for it. So I wrote down my name, and they're going to send me the label when the labels are done. So I have that, and I'll be swatching that in a future video as well. So I had prepared for the pen show and wanted to order some things from Pen Realm in advance of the show. And I reached out to Kirk and Spear, and he said that they could just bring it to the show with me. And I did already have a nib appointment with him on Saturday, but I also wanted some additional things that he could do in advance so that didn't take up appointment time. One of those, well, this is not related to nibs, obviously, but I've always been curious about these Ackerman inks. The bottles on these are just really beautiful. So I found a color that I wanted to try out, and I got Nassau Blue. And look at this bottle. It's just gorgeous. So that is something I'm looking forward to trying out as well. As far as the other items I got from that I had ordered in advance from them and picked up, I also got the Twisby matcha, which I didn't think I was going to get, but I decided to get because if I ordered it from him, I could also get a custom grind on it. So I ordered a medium, and then I asked him to put a fine on the reverse side. So this is medium on the forward side and fine on the reverse side. Because I do like my Twisbys. I inked this with Pilot Aroshizuku Chikorine, which I already owned and had brought with me to St. Louis. So that's the pen I got from there in advance. And the other thing I got in advance was somehow when I went to Chicago, I failed to pick up his Chicago nib. So he had told me where to find them online. And so I did that, and I was able to have him. I purchased it from him, and then had him put a special grind on it, and then I inserted that in my Carolina Penco, Carolina Penco suspended animation. So Yovo number 6, and it was brought. I had to make it into a reverse architect. Oh, I'm out of frame again. We're out of the light. So this is a nib I'm trying out in a pen I had already purchased at the Chicago show. What else did I get from Pen Realm in that advance order? I think that was it in the advance order. And right next to Pen Realm was Stationery Universe, and Tori had some really neat things there. I had my eye on this Inkwell, which was back in stock, and so I grabbed that. And then I saw these folded blades she had, and intrigued by that, I got to try one out on the show or on her table, and I'll be using that for some swatching. You'll see some examples of that in the future. And then she also had some painted converters, and I have a clear sailor demonstrator that I got. She has them for all different pen brands. So I picked up the one that's for a sailor. And look at that. It's got a beautiful scene on it. So I'm looking forward to showing that off. And it's got such good earth tone colors. It's, trees with the sky. I don't know if you can see it very well with my lighting here, sorry. But it's absolutely gorgeous. So I'm looking forward to putting that in that pen. And who can't use a nib cloth, right? So I got that from her, and some really cute stickers. Some of these are going to be gifts, but um, that's what I picked up from her table. A lot of fun stuff. So after Stationery Universe, I think this is in order, but same day one, I went to Inkyconverters and picked up this lanyard from her, and isn't that gorgeous here? All of that design is absolutely gorgeous, and it's the same on this washi tape as well. So I got the washi tape. I didn't pick this up till Sunday, but and then I got these pins from her, some ink pens. This one is color changing, kind of like a mood ring, and then this one has little cherry blossom leaves in it and glitter that move around when you move the pin. So got that from her. That was a lot of fun. And Amarillo Stationery, I totally missed out on this in Chicago too, and everyone was swatching these inks from him, and so I picked those up, the complete set. You've probably already seen tons of videos of those, but I'm out of frame. I will be swatching these as well. So this is how they look all together. He designed it. I thought that's ingenious. The boxes line up to make this person, or his logo rather, and these are the different colors. And I'll be making a swatch video with that. And I also picked up this single pen rickshaw pen holder. It came with a black rickshaw lanyard, but I put the lanyard I got from Inkyconverters on it. Let's see, what else did I do on the first day? I bought a pen on the first day. I got a Waterman Carene in sea green from Eric Fonville, the Michigan Pen Club. And so it is unused. It's in an extra fine. And I have the amber that I picked up last fountain pen day last year from Atlas at a good price, and I got this at a good price too. But the one I got last year in amber was a medium. I had it ground down to a fine by Kirk in Spirit in Chicago, and this one came as extra fine, and I absolutely love it. It was a tad scratchy, so I had him tune it when I had the nib appointment the next day, and it's absolutely lovely now. And I have it inked with Robert Oster Crocodile Green. So that was my purchase, another pen purchase on the first day. And then the other thing I picked up on the first day, the other pen I got was, and I don't have the case for it, he's sending it to me, but it's this Omas, a Omas AM87. So it is in Briarwood green, and I'm sorry my lighting's not very good here. Let's see if I can do something about that. Got lots of shadows. So it's in Briarwood green, and look at the nib on that. Let's see if I can get in a little closer. It's not good lighting here. There, you can see it maybe a little bit better. So that is an 18 karat, I believe it was, a medium nib, and it writes beautifully. No work at all needed to be done to it. It's unused as well, or might be just fine, lightly used, because it had a couple of minor scratches on it. But he has the papers and the box that he'll be mailing to me. But is that not gorgeous? One of the original Omas pens. So I'm glad I got that. That was my big pen purchase from this show. The other thing I did on the first day was get a bunch of nib grinds from Matthew Chen. So, back to the Omas. I got that from PenGuy Austin. And in addition to that, I picked up a couple of other smaller items that he had, including this little ceramic nib holder and this pen stand, a 3-pen stand that's 3D printed. Just another handy thing to have. So, nib grinds. First day, Matthew Chen. I went and got an appointment with him right away. And I had a total of 3 different grinds done by him. So let me put this back in its place. So the first, I had earlier purchased these number 8 Jinhao X, number 8 nib Jinhao X 159s or 156s. What are they? I'll look it up and put it in the description below, but they came in a 4-pack for like $30 because I am kind of fascinated by number 8 nibs. They're extra large and they actually write pretty well, but they were all mediums. And I thought, well, I don't need all 4 mediums. I like line variation. So I had him make this one into a stub. So now I have a stub in a number 8 Jinhao, and I had him make this in a sharp or crisp cursive italic, which is in this one. And I love this. It is so much fun to write with. So I got those done. I hope he wasn't insulted working on such a cheap pen, getting an expensive grind on. He didn't say anything about it. So, but anyway, it was kind of fun because, I do enjoy these number 8 nibs, and I don't think I'll be in the market for purchasing a gold number 8 nib that is popular in a lot of other models. That is way beyond my price point right now. I also wanted one of his specialty nibs, and I decided on the Uranagi, which he made for me out of a double broad that he sold, one of his nibs. And where did I put that one? Oh, that went in my SD sea glass. So it was a Yovo number 6. So I popped out, I had a journaler. I purchased this with a journaler nib, and I just put his nib in this. So this is his nib in the Uranagi, and I'm enjoying playing with that as well. So that was it for the nibs on the first day, and the only other thing I got on the first day that I'll show you are these little cute ink cartridge plugs. Okay, who knew that they existed? A little company called 10 had these laying there, and I picked up some. And spoiler alert, if my sisters are watching, I'm going to be sending some to them, because my one sister had said, is there a way to plug a cartridge after you use a cartridge? If you want to refill it or switch inks or something, is there a way to plug it? And I hadn't heard of that, but this is what fits the bill. It's just a little silicone plug that pops into the cartridge that has ink in it. It's not like completely seal proof. You still want to store it upright, kind of prop it upright to make sure it doesn't spill all over everything. But yeah, it keeps the ink from drying out and still keeps it usable if you want to swatch out colors. Did I talk about? No, that's the next day. So that was it for day 1. And I was kind of done, went back to my daughter's apartment because I was staying with her during this pen show. She lives about 5 minutes away. And I did come back that evening for after hours. I, sat in the bar and talked to a couple of other people, and we got to share pens and see pens, so that was fun. But I was kind of done shopping that first day. Second day, I went back. I had my nib grind appointment with Kirk Spear, and he tuned a couple of pens for me. In addition to that new Waterman Carene I told you about, he had done some work on an M800, Pelican M800 green demonstrator in Chicago. It was originally a medium nib, and I wanted to turn it into a cursive smooth italic. And after writing with it a little bit after the show, it was kind of off in one of the directions. So I had him. He did some tweaking on it. It's perfect now. And then I had also purchased a new M800 in green black, and it was a little bit scratchy. I could have sent that back to the retailer Atlas, and they would have taken care of it. But since I was going to St. Louis anyway, I thought, well, let's just see if Kirk can fix it, because that's less hassle for me. And he was able to fix that. So that worked out really well too. And then the other, I had him do a couple of custom grinds on pens I got in Chicago. One of this is that indelible Ogma is that really unique colorway, and you probably won't be able to see it in this light. But if you look end on end, it's like a flat brown, but it's got this really glittery body that swirls with a pink. I have it with inked up with the Diamine Cashmere Rose. It's just a perfect color for it. And so the nib that came with this was a Yovo medium, and he ground it to a cursive smooth italic for me. So now I have a Yovo number 6 cursive smooth italic nib that I can play with. And then the other nib grind I had him work on was with this leather and lathe thin pen. Looks like it might have got a little leaking going on here. That was a broad, and I had him grind this with his Imperial grind. So I'm having fun with that too, and we'll be doing a little cleaning after I shoot this video. That was day 2. In the morning, got all of those grinds taken care of. I also picked up the St. Louis Pen Show Yovo 6 nib in fine, and it's got a little lobster on it. Don't know if you can see it through here, but I picked up that. And then I kind of got swallowed in. He was over by Florida Fountain Pen, and I stopped to look at all their stuff on the second day, and I kind of fell in love with this. I was looking at other pens, and then he showed me this this Pilot capless with the LS, and I guess I don't know what planet I've been on, but this has been around for a while, but it's a silent one. You just press that, and it's got like a pneumatic feature. I think that's what it would be called, pneumatic feature that retracts, pulls it back, the nib back in. So push down silently, it doesn't click, and the nib's exposed. Boom. Okay, so I ultimately ended up inking this in Yamabudo because, I mean, let's get real, this is a Yamabudo pen. But in the interim, I was also talking across from them to Smoothie Pens, and I'm hoping I'm pronouncing their last name correctly. Wonderful couple, and I had so much fun talking with Akila. She was helping me try to find a pen. I showed her all of my swatches because I brought my ink swatch book, and asked her for a touch of ink to kind of help round out my collection, and that would also be compatible with this pen. This pen will go with a lot of different things, but she came up with this Tacha. I have no idea how to pronounce it. Omurasaki, Ao Murasaki, something like that. So I got that, and then I was intrigued by their books too. So She said that the dominant industry Takasago fountain pen paper is some of the best paper, fountain pen paper she's ever seen. So I got that in a blank book. I have paper guides if I want to write on it, but I can also use it for swatching. So I just was kind of playing around with some of the different inks I had, and it does look very promising. I don't see any um, bleed through, um, and the ghosting isn't anything bad. But she also makes her own notebooks, spiral notebooks. So she makes this is made out of this year's Sanzen, and I believe she said it's 52 GSM. And so I bought one of her books too. Yeah, 52 GSM, 100 sheets. And so, and it's Sanzen, but I haven't completely tried any of this out. But I'm a sucker for paper, so I got that. And then I got this for free with my purchase, this nice little pen rest. So that was a lot of fun. The other thing I did on the second day was went to Grifo. So you'll see a theme, a color theme going on here. So I had a purple, and you don't even know another purple thing I got that I'm going to be showing you soon. I got a TN cover in purple from Galen Leather. So I've got purple on my brain. I went to the Grifos, their table, and they had, I saw them in Chicago. I looked at some of their stuff, but I didn't really bite the bullet yet. But I got this lovely pen case. Let me just back out a little bit for you. Or it's a portfolio cover. So it's got a snap enclosure. It's leather from Italy. And then you got to pick your divider that you wanted. So I went with the teal because I was kind of jiving with the teal and the purple contrast. And you'll see when I show my TN why. But I also picked out some things, some stationery. They got lovely stationery. So these are little notebooks that they sell printed, and I thought that this was the perfect combo, right, for this teal, because the opposite side of this is a writing pad, and then this is a pen loop, and you can also secure a notebook under there. But that's just the perfect combo, right? And then I also got this stationery set. I'm not a huge letter writer. I used to be when I was much, much younger. I haven't. But I saw this collection that has Peter Pan, Little Mermaid, Alice in Wonderland, Pinocchio, and the Little Prince. And I thought I needed to get this. So that's lovely. Need to start writing some letters. What was I going to say about this too? So teal, purple, obviously pen goes with it. Yamabudo goes with it. We're doing good there. Later on, I'm at the Lemur Inks station or table, and they have a lot of Pilot or Suzuki inks. And I did end up getting Karasami. I wasn't sure if that one was still available on Amazon for an inexpensive price. So I paid the full, going price for that. But since this is discontinued, I wanted to keep this on hand because I do like this gray. But this pen roll, they had at a pen show price, and theme turquoise, teal, right? Look at this notebook with it too. I mean, honestly, it just all comes together. So this one is I'm going to butcher the name, Garologio. It's a very popular brand. They make a lot of pen cases. I just don't know how to pronounce it very well. But this flaps over. She said you can, if you've got all short pens in it, you can close it this way so that you don't have the long. But it's also long enough that you could do a combo of, artist brushes or Tombos and your fountain pens. There's a pocket here, pocket up there. So it's I thought it was a good value for what it is. So I picked up this pen roll from Lemur Inks, and I think that was a wrap for the second day. Oh no, one more thing. I got this. So I picked up this little desk organizer from Lincoln's Leather. And these are some of the stickers I picked up from the show too. I just stuck in there. But they showed that you could, put inks in here because it's leather inside and it, would absorb any uh, inks. You can use it as a pen holder if you wanted. Mine's got pretty stiff sides on it. Lots of different things. So that was fun. I wrapped up the second day with a watercolor in your journaling class, or in your watercoloring in your journal class that I went to with my daughter, and that was a ton of fun. I'm going to probably post something on Instagram about that, but that I would highly recommend if you get the chance to do that, something like that. That was worth it. Now, the last thing I'm going to show you is not related to the St. Louis Pen Show, but it is related to St. Louis. So I did not go to the show at all on Sunday. Instead, I went with my daughter to the Missouri Botanical Gardens. If you haven't seen those, I mean, it is amazing. It's in the heart of the city. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful botanical garden. So went to the gift shop, and this picked up my eye. This is a cracked glass, again with the aqua theme going, right? And then this is just a little bud vase. And I don't know what I'm going to use it for yet, but I had my purple and teal thing going, so I picked it up. And then after I got home, I thought, oh well, when I was in the store, I'm thinking, oh, you can rest your pens on that. That's so convenient. And I get home and realize, oh, I bet you that's supposed to be a cigarette ashtray. Don't think about those anymore, but there's probably nodules here, little divots here for you to put your cigarettes in. I don't smoke, so I won't be using it for that, but that's probably what it was originally designed for. But in the meantime, I can stick some pens in there, right? So that's it for my pen show haul from St. Louis. Oh, no, it's not. Wait a minute. Forgot to show you this. So they had, what was really cool about it was they had a little journaling nook set up. And there's a pen club, a stationery club, journaling club in St. Louis that, had members sitting there. And they, routinely share things. People bring stuff in that they're done using. It can be recycled and used by others. And I had brought some stuff, some washi sample cards and some ink samples to Chicago. Didn't even come close to getting rid of all of them there. So I brought them to St. Louis and gave them to that table there. They were, very delighted to have that. But when I was sitting there, someone else dropped off some things, and it was all Coffee Monster Co. stuff. And I do not subscribe to Coffee Monster Co., but I had an extra blank washi card strip. So I was able to pick up these now retired washis from the Coffee Monsters Co. from sitting at that table. And I wish I had something like that going on here in Kansas City, but we don't yet. Maybe starting something because I met someone else who might be interested. But in the meantime, those ladies had a lot of fun. Probably gentlemen too. I just met a couple of the ladies at the table there. And that was a great idea to have something in the pen show so you can just drop off. You're still in, the thick of the show, but you're kind of off to the side and taking a little break and doing some fun stuff with your purchases, or just, doing something different in your journal. So all in all, it was a super fun show. It was much more digestible to me as a new pen show participant than the Chicago one was, just because it was not nearly as large, but it was very, very, very friendly. I am getting ready to go to the San Francisco Pen Show. I will be meeting up with my sister and niece at that show, and I've been told to brace for that. It will be a completely different experience than the two shows I've been through already, but I think I've got some time to rest up for it. I appreciate your hanging in there with me today. And if you've got any questions about anything that I'm showing, I'm going to try to put everything in the description box. Feel free to leave a comment. And I look forward to talking with you next time.